broadcasting?
Yes.
Hello, everyone at home. Okay, we're going to get started. So, I'm DJ Smith, organizer of NYVR since back in the olden days of 2013. It's crazy. Let's just start with a round of applause for VR, which is the best medium ever. Awesome. Thank you everyone for coming today. How many people are new to NYVR? Can you raise your hands? Welcome, welcome. Awesome. Always good to see new faces here. So if you're new, we start with a little bit of housekeeping, then we have amazing presenters, and then we do Q&A afterwards. So I'll kind of go through the housekeeping as quickly as I can, but welcome to the community. NYVR's mission statement is simply to grow and support the XR community in New York City. So if you need help with anything, we are here to help. I want to thank my company, The Glimpse Group, for providing this amazing space. Our CEO is traveling on vacation, lucky duck. So he's not here tonight. And I want to thank our team of volunteers, Anthony, who had an awesome demo tonight, Jean and Asib, I think, is still traveling here, and Jordan is somewhere. Hey, Jordan. Thank you. All right. And Jimmy controls our live broadcasting, so if you can't make it here in person, in the meetup description, there's always the YouTube live link, and all of the previous, recent events are on his channel, so you can go back and take a look. For the new folks, we have something called the NYVR Collaboration Group. If you are looking to try and get into the industry and are just not quite sure how to do it, this is a really good program. Essentially, just come up to me after the event and kind of tell me what your skill set is, and I'll team you up with someone or a team that would be complementary. So typically I'll take like a Unity developer, put them with a project manager and an artist, and set them off on some kind of charitable project that you can use for your portfolios. We do have one team right now that's actually helping with a not-for-profit organization. They do workforce development for young adults with autism. Super cool program, really excited about that one. But we are open to any sort of projects with those groups. So again, if you're interested, just come up to me after the presentations and I'll take your information. As always, we're always looking for exciting presenters and XR startups. So if you know of anyone or you're starting something new, again, come up to me. We'd love to learn about it. And one of the things just recently over the past couple of months is had a request for more connection to the VR communities that are in Meta Horizon Worlds and VR Chat. So I've been trying to get a little bit more content for that, and Saul is representing tonight that initiative with what he'll be presenting his Horizon World. Upcoming dates, so these are all on Meetup for NYVR. Specifically for August 13th, we're going to not do our normal format of presenters. We're actually having our speed drawing tilt brush competition. And I think we're going to be partnering with the VR ARA for that. Who knows about the speed drawing tilt brush competitions? Who's seen that in the past? Couple. Okay, so if you don't know what it is super cool. Essentially, we have people that are familiar with tilt brush pick a song. We play the song for the crowd, and they have to finish an original piece of artwork in tilt brush before the song ends. It's awesome. And I need people to sign up because I have a handful of artists already signed up, but I need more. So if you are interested in participating in that, it's a friendly competition, all skill levels. I'll be drawing again. It's a lot of fun. So come up and let me know. Hey, Sam.
Hi.
Everyone, that's Sam. She rocks. Okay, is, actually I was a slide too slow, but that is the summer party and looking for Tilt Brush Speed join. XR Guild, I think they haven't finalized the date for July. Where's this?
Yeah, we are going to announce the date, but...
Okay. When you do, let us know. We definitely are happy to promote all the other XR community events. They actually have a super cool new venue at Sugar Mouse, which is right downtown.
Right.
So hopefully there'll be a lot more events there.
More casual ones are that, yes.
Yep. 3DNY, they have a couple of events up here. You can take some pictures of these. If you want it later, let me know. I'll come back. And XR Motion, we got somebody over here that knows a little bit about this. Michael will be talking about that. It is XR Motion group, and we've got a couple of information here for upcoming stuff, but we'll hear more. All right, this is a favor for me. We always like to promote what is cool in VR. So if you've seen something super cool, if you could fill out that survey and put it in, I'll leave that up for a second. And again, I can come back to these later. This is the latest list. So we have the bold ones are kind of new additions to it. Take a picture of this. This is your homework. Go try every one of these. All right. Wait till the phones come down. Okay. I heard a click. And if you're not on our LinkedIn page, hit that QR code. We do try to, well, we have all the information about our events there. But we're trying to grow that community and really use LinkedIn as our main vehicle for communication. Okay, that was way too much housekeeping. So, one more round of applause for all of our amazing presenters. I'm super proud for this group. And I think we can get right started. Oh, last thing. So, we hold all the questions until the end. After each speaker, I'm going to put this QR code up. If you have a question, click it, put the question in, and then I'm going to curate, have all the presenters up on stage, and we'll go through them. I like the questions. I always like the questions. So it's one of my favorite things. So please do that. Come on down.
Hi, everyone.
Good seeing everyone. How's everyone doing? Love seeing some familiar faces here. This is great. Really good seeing everyone. I'm along with Echo 3D. I'm going to talk about our company and how we believe that 3D storage and 3D files are really, really important to every industry. Please ask questions. I love questions too, so make sure to ask. I'll get started. I'll show some demo. I had the opportunity to talk to some of you earlier, so I kind of got the sense of the room and feel. Who is super, super new, just like showing hands, who is super, super new to AR/VR? Who's like an expert, knows everything, and do this talk instead of everything? Great stuff. Okay. Server Echo, we're a cloud solution for 3D digital asset management, which is a very fancy way to say Dropbox for 3D. We serve companies like Chevron, Energizer, BMW that have massive amounts of 3D models and digital twins of their oil rigs, and they use us to store and share these models all over the world and across their teams. We raised $9.5 million in a bunch of VC rounds, the last was with Qualcomm Ventures, and the team is based in New York. They're fans of the city and how it's contributing to the world of AR/VR. So I'm guiding you through this a little bit. I'll show a demo, and please jump in if you have any questions too, and submit them to the QR code.
When's it for?
6 years ago. Yeah, wow, right? Still going. So 3D is everywhere, as you all know, as you all love. We see it in automotive, energy, retail, gaming, obviously, industrial use cases, and marketing. Yet, while all of these kind of industries are adopting 3D, it's still really hard to manage large amounts of 3D data. Why is that, you ask? If you think about a scan of this room, let's say literally a digital twin of this room, the file would be massive. It would be 50 gigabytes large. And each kind of headset or each game engine has different file formats, right? Apple Vision Pro uses USB-C, Android uses GLB, Unity likes FVXs. There's so many file formats for 3D. But also a 3D file is not a single file. It can be textures, mesh, animations, skeletons. I can have a 3D model that is actually 17 files together. And it's really hard to search for it. If I upload a 3D model to Dropbox and I want to find, give me a 3D model for a red car, how would it know what a red car is? So that's kind of where we come in, and we basically solve all these problems through our platform. Our core technology is the conversion, compression, and optimization of 3D. That allows you to share the content, optimize it, version control it, and basically manage it across any solution out there. I'm going to jump into a demo. I'll show you how this works live. So let's all pray to the kind of the demo gods that everything will work. Let's see right here. So this is our platform. You can see we have like a bunch of 3D models here, some images, videos, you name it. Once you upload files to Echo, you can basically store them in different collections. These are definitely ways for you to administer different content for different permission levels. So let's say your marketing team has access to everything, but the manufacturing team has only access to some of the assets. Now, when you start an asset here, you can see, once it loads, you can see the 3D model, you can see metadata is attached to it. One of my favorite buzzwords these days is AI. So we added AI that basically runs in the background and actually useful, knows what the model is, knows what the model is, adds metadata to basically say, hey, we know this is a car, we know it's a sports car. This is what helps with the kind of content kind of sharing. Okay, this guy, load. So you kind of understands where the kind of what the model is automatically. You can share the model, you can add metadata to it, you can edit it. So this is another cool thing around kind of 3D. If you think about it, let's say Christmas coming up, and I want to change my contents to fit a Christmas theme, how do I do that? So with Echo, you can actually change the file directly in the platform, create different variants, which again, is very different for 3D that doesn't exist in images and videos, right? You don't have like different variants of assets, but you definitely have that in 3D, different animations. You can see how your content is doing over time. If you update it and share it with some kind of AR platform, you can see how it's going. You can version control it, so if the file has changed over time, you can see the changes, almost like a GitHub for 3D. You have different hierarchies that you can connect, different locations that can have different experiences, basically play a different role in different locations. I can open a NYVR app that connects to Echo in New York. It will show me this cool robot. Then I open it in San Francisco. It shows me a druggy homeless guy. That's San Francisco is. Anyway, we have a bunch of features here around like location management and kind of file management and user management and traction. But the core is, again, having a centralized repository for real content. Before I leave you, I'll show you some cool, more AI stuff that we added. So imagine that you're not an expert in 3D. We saw some hands around here that are not necessarily experts, but you have a 2D image of something. So I have a 2D image of a hat, and I want to upload it to Echo, literally just an image. I wanted to ask it to find me that hat. So there you go. I uploaded this kind of small image of a black hat, and bam, I found it with 100% accuracy. I can find the 3D model of the hat. This is really useful for marketing teams and things that are not necessarily 3D forward that still want to use 3D assets, but don't have that. So for example, an image of a shoe, I want to find that 3D model, I want to integrate that into my project. There's like a bunch more features I can show you around like indexing and search, but this is really the core, having like a kind of really centralized repository for all your content. I'm going to jump back to the slides, but I hope I'm doing okay on time. You're good. Perfect. I'm also like a really fast talker, so that helps too. Okay, so what are we showing here so far? So basically our software is deployed in the cloud and allows you to stream data anywhere. The cool thing and kind of an insight for everyone who's working in this space, the thing that really worked for us to unlock enterprise values is that the closing customers like Chevron that I mentioned with Energizer is deploying it on-prem, so basically allowing our software to live on their servers so the data never leaks, and they can basically integrate their existing 3D content directly into our software, and then giving them all these kind of value propositions around version control, storage, drive management, collaboration tools, and so on and so forth. The way it works, again, you can scan, upload any file. We don't do the content creation, even though we do have a collection of over, I would want to say 100 to 1 million files that you can use for free on the platform, but usually you can come in with your own. And then we allow you to store, optimize, and update files in any platform. It can be Unity, it can be Unreal, it can be headsets, it can be VR headsets, AR headsets, you name it. We allow you to unlock the content, easily collaborate, share, and save time on kind of streaming the files and versioning them over time. And our core core technology, as I mentioned, is the processing and kind of deployment that you can basically use it everywhere. Here's some examples I kind of already mentioned. Energizer is kind of a kind of manufacturing use case, but we have, as I mentioned, Chevron, or we work with companies like Lowe's and BMW that have, again, already a massive collection of 3D. And who would have thought? Who would have thought that Chevron has 3D digital twins of every oil rig they own? Apparently. So stuff like that are really exciting. Because all these industries that who would have thought they have 3D, they do. And you can come in and create a really cool experience or a really cool product for them. Today we have close to 2,000 kind of professionals on our platform, working with really big brands and have a really cool partnership with kind of a lot of cloud providers and trying to grow and grow. I would definitely advise you to go to NYVR.com/signup, register for free. We have a totally free trial where you can play around with, upload files, see them, share them with everyone. It's super, super easy. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you so much. That's awesome. So if you have questions, hit that up, and we'll bring you back up afterwards. And with that, Michael, come on down.
Down here, okay, got it. Thank you so much for having me. Right, how you guys doing tonight? Good? All right, love it, love it. This is so exciting. Love to be surrounded by fellow enthusiasts. So, that being said, we're gonna go ahead here and start it. This is from corporate cubicles to creative communities. And I'm gonna explain it, a little bit fun title here, as we go along. And also, this might be a little bit inception-y. You'll see we're going to start forward and kind of go back and then work our way forward. But before we begin, I just want to do a little exercise here. If you guys can please just kind of look to the person next to you, maybe ask a quick question like, what's your favorite color? I don't know, what brought you here? What software do you use? It's awkward, I know, but we got to do it. We have to do it. Give it about 20 seconds. Energy, though, right? I mean, you can hear the energy. You guys can feel the excitement. I should have made a little timer or something to get us all pumped. I lost the crowd, guys. It's exciting. Networking is exciting. We're going to bring it back real quick, guys. And we'll bring it back to the end as well. So here we go. So a little bit about myself. I know you guys got to all know each other. I am a 3D generalist, motion designer, and VR and AR enthusiast. I currently work at Citibank as a motion designer, and I have over 8 years of experience in the financial industry. So yes, I am the definition of a cubicle job worker. Financial charts, if you guys need a guy who can make a chart go up and down, I'm your guy. It's beautiful. And if you guys don't believe me, here's a real picture of my office. Not even joking, that is the vibe. But being in a corporate environment, I knew I needed to wash the taste out of my mouth every single day I got out of work. So that's where I said, hey, I need to find other people who are like-minded and have this inspiration to just know about future technologies and creating new digital art trends. So that's when I started XR Motion. And if you're wondering a bit more about that, it's essentially a digital art community that brings together 3D, VR, AR, AI, motion graphics, even people who make NFTs, if that's still a thing, artists together. And we do a podcast, YouTube channel, we have a digital art payroll in case you want to look cool in front of your friends. And we also have meetups, which are very fun. And this is a little brief overview. Now going back in time, as I said we were going to do, I just want to say, let me see here. Okay, so yeah, I mentioned this already, but pretty much that was all started because I wanted to start collaborating with other creatives. That was the main focus of what we were doing at XR Motion. So December 2019, a boy who didn't know what he was doing, struggling and asking for help. That was me right there. I needed help. Clearly, I didn't even ask anybody to help take a photo on the edge of a wide-angle camera lens, so struggling. But anyway, this was the very first meetup we had, one of the first, and that's where I met Andrew. And I just want you guys to know, again, always be trying to network and just figure out what each other do here, because this is when I met Andrew, and he joined into XR Motion. Look at that, just 5 guys here. I know all of them still great guys. And Andrew joined in, and he helped a lot with the podcast. And he really took me recording audio on my phone to teaching me about audio setups, microphones, lighting, soundboards, everything. And as well, he helped me grow the meetup a lot bigger, which is where you can see this photo, and we grew almost in triple the size in just a few months after I'm joining. And from this meetup, again, I then met somebody at the meetup called Lyle. And Lyle was a great guy. Again, it was just something where I was never used to asking for help. I was never used to networking. But I met Lyle and I said, I'm curious about how AI videos work. And this guy said, I know how they work. Wouldn't it be cool if there was a YouTube video or something of the sorts where everybody could know how it worked? And I said, that's a great idea. Maybe we should collaborate and try and work something out. And so we did. We made a video called AI Animations. And it was one of the first videos to come out, and it went pretty viral. Got almost 1 million hits on it. And that was just, again, something I decided to say, hey, let's take a chance and work together to make some magic stuff happen, and we made another video. So that led to a pretty big success with XR Motion, which then really grew our meetup. And it got really big really fast. And from there, I also met somebody named Tamar. And again, I'm not comfortable asking for help, I'm not comfortable networking, but she said, hey, I would love to help start a monthly email. Also, your design skills kind of suck, as you can tell by my PowerPoint presentation. And she said, I'd love to help out. So Tamar joined in, and she helped start our monthly newsletter, which has been massive for us, and it's been a great success, and it's been awesome. And this was something I, again, could not have done on my own. And since then, that was maybe a year ago, in the past year, we've actually expanded our team a lot more, just through networking, saying, hey, let's make some magic happen, getting out of my own box. And now we have about 12 people on the team, which is really exciting. And from that, from being that guy in the first meetup to now here, this is kind of the XR Motion conference we are now doing. So I just want to present this to you guys real quick. I hope this isn't too loud. October 25th, that is the conference that we are having here, which is very exciting. Let me see. And at this conference, it's going to be at NYU Tandon, very exciting. Some of those speakers who you might not have known, we have John Lepore. So our 4 main speakers is John Lepore. He's a 4-time Emmy-nominated creative leader. He also was the founder at Black Box Infinite. Some of you might know Michelle Cortez. She is fantastic. She is a director at Meta for the Metaverse. I'm super excited for her to be joining in. She's going to be doing a talk. We also have EJ Hassenfratz. If you guys are ever into 3D modeling, how that works, he is the creative art director at School of Motion. And then we have Patrick Foley. If you don't know his work, it's super fun. He just mixes food together every single day and does a brand new 3D sculpt and with ZBrush, and his work's really fun. Also, just at at the conference, we are going to have some awesome XR and VR and AR technologies and demos there. We're also going to have some awesome workshops, which we haven't announced any of this yet, but we're also going to be doing a fireside chat. And in XR Motion fashion, we're going to be having a happy hour with some food. So pretty exciting stuff. But all that to be said, I just wanted to kind of bring it back, is I wasn't good at running a podcast or communities. I wasn't good at making YouTube videos. I wasn't good at writing emails or with design in any way. But through networking, asking for help, and being proactive with creative people I met at meetups, I've been able to work on projects and be a part of things I literally never could have even fathomed just a few years ago. So my advice is, guys, just break out of your bubble like this very dumb little boy did 6 years ago. And you don't know who you might meet here in this very room or somewhere else and start a life-changing journey together. Maybe it was the person literally right next to you that you started a conversation with earlier. Ooh, he brought it back. But yeah, so literally, guys, it's just kind of my big advice to you. It was something I struggled with my whole life, and then through just literally networking and trying to make some fun projects happen with people at meetups just like tonight, I was able to do some stuff that I just still can't believe. Also, as DJ mentioned earlier, he is literally networking people together. So, boom, bada bing, golden ticket right here. Love this guy. So follow up, even invite each other for lunches. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much. All right. If you got questions, hit that up. And with that, Larry, come on down. So I love telling this story. I'm going to tell it to the crowd. Sure. Come here. All right. So when NYVR formed back in like 2014, Larry was one of our first regulars, and he was the only person that I met that actually cared about the audio side of VR. And I said, this is somebody that I am a lifelong friend with. So thank you for coming and speaking the words of audio, the importance of audio within a VR experience. So with that.
Thank you. Thank you, DJ. All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Larry. I am an audio nerd specializing in immersive media. So that means I help companies, studio, individuals to shape their sound experience for their immersive and interactive projects. That includes video games, virtual reality, sometimes even linear projects, you name it. But why are we talking about audio? Is it audio really that important? I don't really care about audio. But it turns out audio is actually quite important in terms of virtual reality experience, because it can shape the sonic environment, so it makes the immersive world more engaging. It also can help navigate the players or the viewers' attention to that and focusing on certain areas of the virtual space, so can provide them more important information. It also can influence emotions or perceptions in the virtual world. For example, if we pick up a bottle in the virtual world and drop it on the floor, and in duration doesn't make any sound, so worse, the sound doesn't match our expectation, immediately our brain will flag this virtual world as fake. So that disconnection will hurt the immersion so much. So having a good, well-designed audio can actually help selling the experience to be more authentic, alive, and more believable. So today I'm going to use 3 examples virtual reality content I worked on before, and walk you through different type of audio design approach for those content. First, interactive narrative VR experiences. For a project like this, audio design approach is pretty much just like design audio for, say, TV episodes or films, but in a fully immersive and interactive way. So here we have to not only design sound that have intuitive and rewarding feedback, that where the player interact with those objects, you give them rewarding feedback. We also have to design music that can respond to the player's decision in real time. So making the emotional arc more dynamic, it's not just linear. So for this type of audio design, I think it will be more hyper realism. So making sure that the sound is grounded and motivated by the world. But at the same time, we need that non-diegetic music to shape the emotional journey subconsciously. So a good example that I worked on is this project called The Price of Freedom. It is a interactive VR narrative experience inspired by the true events of Project MK which is they classify true events in the CIA that just, they do human brainwash experiments on innocent people. And so you are being told you are a CIA agent and you got into this apartment and just let's investigate, finding out information and details and figure out the story. Now here, take a look at the trailers of this project, okay, the better sense.
Benjamin Miller is a traitor. Find Benjamin and kill him.
Sorry, it's too loud.
Benjamin. Benjamin Miller.
Okay, next one, VR documentary. So in terms of designing audio feed for VR documentary, the roles of audio is to restore or preserve the realism. So without too many or too much personal, emotional interpretation. The good examples of this genres is called The Journey Through the Camp. It is a VR documentary talking about Holocaust concentration camp. So the project is using photorealistic animations to guide the viewers to go through different historically significant locations. The audio design for this is trying to stay authentic, respectful, and minimal. We avoided using music cues to influence the player's emotions and using the ambience sound itself to speak for themselves. The only place that we have music cue is when the projects switch from physical, realistic locations into abstract space, where we have some room to interpret the emotion, but still respect and honoring the weight of the story. So now let's take a short look at the short clips of this project.
The minute the gates opened up, we had screams, barking of dogs, doors from those couples, those officials walking from the head, then we got out of the thing.
I do brought this project to the location, so if anybody want to try it out over there after this presentation. All right. Third, if the project is rooted in artistic expression, the role actually opens up. Here, the audio can be more interpretive, expressive, and metaphorical. Beyond Van Gogh is a good example. So in this project, you walk into Van Gogh's paintings and hear his voice reciting the letters he wrote to his brother. In this environment, it's very hyper expressive. So we don't really use the traditional audio design approach to design certain things like the scene transition, where when the canvas switched from one cell to another, it kind of represent his thoughts shifted. So we wanted to use like a more metaphorical way to interpret that kind of emotional change. So we use the music way to do that transition to make it sound more poetic. In this genre of VR content, it's actually not just allowed but encouraged. So now let's take a look at examples of this.
He who truly takes it seriously doesn't let himself be deterred. And at bottom, nature and an honest draftsman see eye to eye. Not that I'm there yet, but things are beginning to go more smoothly. When one has a lot of things to think about, one sometimes gets the feeling, where am I? What am I doing? Where am I going? And one starts to grow dizzy. But then such a familiar voice, or rather familiar handwriting. He who truly takes it, he who truly...
Alright, so these are just 3 examples. Of course, there are so many different types of VR contents out there, like social VR, simulation-based, education VR, or just live performances in VR. There is no one-size-fits-all solution, but the principle remains the same. Understanding what the content wants to achieve, and use audio not just as an add-on, but a core tools to help achieve that vision. So this is my talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So important. All right, Saul, or got any questions? Hit that up, and Saul, come on down, and let's hear about the audio in your experience.
Hi.
The camera will get you. If you should get stay on
Okay, so we'll first introduce ourselves. Hi everybody, my name is Saul Peña Romero. I've been working in SR for about 8 years. I used to work at the Green School with DJ. Currently I'm working at Supernatural.
Hi, I'm Shalom. I'm an architectural designer. I really want to do more projects in NYVR, and I met Saul through a meetup. And then we started collaborating and made some fun projects. This is one of them. Really happy presenting here. Hi, I'm Yu. I'm a senior creative technologist. I help, I'm a consultant right now. I help one of the biggest company of the world with their marketing, also strategy side, but on the other side, I'm an artist, and I help create the environment for this again. I met Suan and Shaw through this meetup as well, and we've become a part of the team. Nice to meet you all.
So the reason we're here tonight is because a few months ago we met and we started working and decided to work on this Horizon World project. And this was our first experience working with Horizon Worlds. So specifically, we all come from different backgrounds. Myself, I come from a Unity developer background. So I want to introduce you a little bit about what is Meta Horizon Worlds. Meta Horizon is not a new platform. It's been around for a few years now, but recently it's improved a lot. Back in the day, it used to be VR only. If you wanted to work on it, you need to put on a headset and just work on it in VR. But Meta has been putting a lot of effort into improving the platform, and recently they released a desktop editor, currently only works on Windows. And that's one of the reasons we decided to try out and create a experience for Horizon Worlds. They actually also do a lot of programs to promote and developers to produce works for Horizons. They do monthly programs and they pay developers depending on how many viewers and people go and visit the worlds. And so Meta is currently doing a lot of putting a lot of effort to promote developers like us to work on Horizon Worlds. And also the quality of the worlds in there has improved a lot in the past couple of years. These are some of they do monthly competitions, and this is some of the winners that they won prizes from Horizons. And the quality of these games have improved a lot. And so I really recommend if you haven't tried Horizon Worlds yet, you definitely go and try them out. Next, I want to play a little bit of the video of the world that we made so you can get an idea of what the game is like.
Welcome to Baby Air Express. Your mission, pick up the baby, wrap it in a delivery bag, and take a flight. Welcome to Baby Air Express. Your mission.
So, yes. in the video
Soar
right
into the
now.
sky, past floating islands, through drifting clouds, even hop onto a passing plane if you dare. The sky is not just a path, it's a playground. Look around. You'll spot icons showing where each parent is waiting. Match the baby with the right species and glide your way over.
Take a long time to fall down. Sorry.
Land gently to lift the baby to the right parent and share a joyful birthday moment together. You earn 1 point for every successful delivery. Then it's time to return to the island for your next baby and do it all again.
So this is a mobile-based competition, and it's really focused on mobile experiences. I know we're NYVR, so we made a VR version just for the meetup. And why are we doing this game? We researched a little bit of past popular Horizon World, and most of the experiences are grounded. For example, last year there was a winner called Bug Hunt, and you just go around in grassy field and explore insects and hunt them. It's very therapeutic, and I don't know, it's just fun and cozy to play. And this year, for example, the top winner is called Glass Ride. You just race your car in a maze and avoid enemies and someone who's gonna bomb you. So all these examples are ground experience, and we are trying to first of all think out of the box. What if we do like a flying experience? Then we got inspired by this movie called Dumbo. Has anyone watched it? It's from my good. Your reaction is good. So in Dumbo, the iconic store, deliver babies to mom animals in the zoo, and we just want to use that narrative to start the game. Then we are creating this world. Also, according to our research, Meta is shifting to mobile because they want to compete with Roblox and bring more audience. So the user group is shifting to younger people. And we thought this like Disney-based narrative will be more fun and whimsical to play, and it's just better fit for the mobile users rather than VR. Yeah, that's how we came up with the game. And these are some clips from Dumbo, just to refresh your memory. The stork are flying, and then going to the zoo, then the mom bear got the baby, then here's Dumbo. Yeah.
Yeah. So our story lies quite similar to Dumbo as well. We start from the sky, of course. We have the little islands in the sky, and there in the little islands we have the baby delivery stations. So from there you hop on the stock as our main transportation, of course, and we grab a baby package. Inside the package we have the baby, and from there you fly down to the jungle and deliver the right babies to the right moms and sing the happy birthday song. As you can see the video earlier. Back to you, Saul.
So I want to talk next a little bit about the Horizon Worlds editor. If you are familiar with Unity or Unreal, this should be very familiar to you as well. It's simplified, it only works on Windows right now, but there are some key characteristics. It has a way of organizing all your assets similar to Unity. This is all multiplayer by default, so when you're working in the editor, you can collaborate with other developers in real time, and whenever they make changes to the world, you can see them happen as well. So there's an area for you to share your assets. They have AI integrated tools as well, but we're going to go into more specific details for those later throughout the presentation. I just want to introduce you the editor, the main one we were using. Next, I want to talk about the main mechanic for our game. So like Sean explained, the flying is really important for a game. Horizon, you have to type everything using TypeScript. We're familiar with C#, so we have to learn TypeScript, and we use AI to help us code a lot of the scripts. We use physics for the locomotion. And it took us a while, different tries to come up with a good way of flying. Like you said, there are not many flying experiences in Horizon at all, and the ones that are there sometimes give you motion sickness. So we tried different things with one where we just push the player and try to have the stock follow you using code, but it was too laggy. Then we tried, for example, have the player sit on an invisible chair and push it, but it looked really weird. Eventually we decided to land on this solution that you can see here, where the player is essentially wearing the store kind of like a costume. In here, after we were happy with that custom way of locomotion, we wired it to the UI, so you can use the UI that Horizon grants you to trigger the flying, and you can also do that through the NYVR as well. And you can also hear here at the bottom, this is some of the experiments on how different characters will follow you around. So these are like the intern birds, like follow you around, learning how you do your job, so they can mimic you later.
Okay, so how do we design this game from a design assets perspective? 2D, for example, we called it the gameplay H2D, and we also custom made the leaderboard. We didn't manage to make the custom UI happen because it's kind of dumb. We forgot to turn on the UI API in the editor. So we couldn't figure out why the sample UIs, all of them, like we copied the same thing, it didn't work. So we just coded what we knew at the time, and the rest of the UI we used like image generated asset instead. And the 3D asset we went for like a hybrid route. We first designed a visual language, then we tried to find some assets that's available in the asset store. The tricky thing of that is Horizon has a very low vertex limit. So if you import something, you might only be able to import a few one, and then your world kind of stop letting you adding more assets. So we really need to edit it down. We went to another route as well. I found some like Pinterest images I like, and then I used ChatGPT to edit it to make the character that we want to use. Then I used Meshy AI, which is amazing. You just generate 3D assets in a few minutes. Then export as like a lower polygon count kind of asset, fix the texture a little bit, and then here we go. These are some of the examples. For example, this is a ChatGPT generated station. Then I import into Blender, paint some colors, and eventually we reached 4 times more than the count, and that's the hard stop before you can stop importing more. And Diane's gonna introduce more about AI in Horizon.
Yeah. So I take ownership of the jungle, the whole environment of the jungle. So it's a very big task. And in order to do that within 2 weeks, we have a 2-week time span. So in order to do that, I use a lot of AI. I use also using the free assets from the Meta Horizon as well. So you can see here from the right bottom side, you can see that the generate AI feature, you can create either the environment in real time, or you can also create a 3D model and also creating texture to that model as well. And also sounds, you can also using this feature to create sounds, which is pretty cool and helping us so with like the time speeding up so much faster. I know Saul and Suon like stay up at night at 3 a.m. to create this game. So but we got really excited with the AR and also the AI. So I got too excited sometimes to the point that I added too much model into the jungle, and that jungle required a lot of assets and features. So we reached the capability, like Suon mentions, that we have to like dumb it down a bit. But the limit for this is 100 million, actually 1 million. 1 million vector only, but 400% of that is probably 400 million vectors, which is overloaded. But yeah, like we use a lot of AI and also using strategies to dumb it down. So we're making this environment better.
a little more about the editor. Like I mentioned earlier, it's all real time, so you can see all your teammates working at the same time. For example, in this image, I believe this is the M and this is a giant version of myself. So when your other teammates are idle, you just see them as giant persons in there. So it was really fun to just fast iteration, just if you have an idea, you can just move something and put it and show it to your teammates. Some downsides, specifically on Horizons, we're familiar with working, specifically talking about source control, we're familiar working on GitHub. In Horizons, they implement their own version of source control. It's very similar to Perforce, if you ever worked with it before. Essentially, whenever somebody touches an item, it gets logged, so nobody can use it. So if you're working on like moving a tree, nobody can touch that tree. If you're working on a script, nobody can touch a particular script. But we run into some issues and bugs where sometimes scripts will revert to like versions older if somebody was trying to edit it at the same time. So it has its quirks, but it definitely works. Also, this was originally our hierarchy, and we spent a bunch of time trying to keep it organized and clean for fast development as well.
Yeah, so there's very good side to the Meta Horizon as well. You can see it's easy to implementing AI, either the 3D mesh or sounds or environment as well. And it's so easy to collaborate seamlessly. So we coming into the environment with one click, we all joining in together and building it from day one. And it's also easy to building it in cross-platform. Easy, as you can mention, we build it in VR and so as well as the Meta, mobile, and the web as well. And unlike Unity, we instead of like exporting it a lot, we only click one button, which is publish, and that's all we do. But yeah, there's many good into Meta Horizons, and I highly recommend it.
So what's next for us? This is our first attempt in Horizon Wall. It took about 2 weeks to make this wall, and we really like the narrative, so we want to keep on improving UI. For example, adding more interaction, making onboarding more intuitive, notification and feedback system. Maybe take some Larry's lesson to learn how to make sounds, add sound to the game, improve the 3D assets. Also, really want to make more terrain. So in this version, we only make the jungle where you can fly to the girl babies. In our dream world, you can deliver babies to different kind of, to all over the world. For example, North Pole. For example, some desert. So we want to expand the world a little bit just for ourselves to finish it up. Yeah, that's for us.
Again, this is our team, and please, you can try our game by scanning this QR code. It will take you to the Horizon, and it works for VR, web, and mobile.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And hit this up if you have any questions. And with that, we have our last presenter, last but not least, Lisa, come on down with Sugar XR.
Hi, I am Lisa George, and I'd like to thank Carol. Where is Carol? Carol Silverman invited me and introduced me to DJ, and I just really appreciate inviting me. I'm in from Minnesota, and so thank you for having me. I am the founder and chief magic maker of Sugar XR, and we are an engagement platform that helps you drive traffic, drive sales, drive social buzz, as well as make learning fun and easy, and that's what we're going to talk about today, making learning fun. My origin story about how this happened is a very important digital native to me, my grandson. This is Jack. And I have this huge Halloween extravaganza. 700 kids come on Halloween, like full-size candy bars, the works. I have the whole thing set up, and my grandson looks at me and says, "Wouldn't it be cool if the yard was alive?" And here I'm like, oh man, that would be really cool if the yard was alive. I come from Microsoft where everything's possible, and I have a developer for a husband, so the next year RER was alive. We posted QR codes, 12 different QR codes. We had all sorts of funky characters, and they all came to life. And this is a mom, and what was amazing is the engagement that happened. It wasn't just the kids. It was everybody wanted to be a part of it. They wanted to have fun, engaging experiences. And that's what we realized. We could bring RER to life. Maybe we could bring a lot of places to life. So the next year, Halloween AR was launched. And it's an augmented reality, web-based, frictionless user experience. If you want to take out your phones and scan the QR code, you can see it live. But I'll have it again for you later, too. These 15 characters brought tricks to the Brooklyn Bridge, to Rome, to inside Google headquarters, and to just some really close friends. And this picture I'll tell you about in a minute. But the Halloween experience was amazing. We donated it to any nonprofit that wanted it. Children's nonprofit, Ronald McDonald House. We sold it. It was in hometowns, so when trick-or-treaters were around in a main street, we sold it there and to people's hometowns. But what was really exciting was what happened next. Fire departments were the nucleus of all of our hometowns, and people all over those hometowns celebrate Halloween. There's no budget for them to celebrate Halloween. They spend money on keeping us all safe, so they weren't participating in Halloween. So I talked to the woman who was in the first picture, our fire marshal, and offered her augmented reality experience for free, the Halloween experience. It was so popular, she went to a meeting that day, 45 departments used it the first year, did trunk or treats, got their stations. It was absolutely unbelievable. And it got the attention of the Minnesota State fire chiefs, who brought me in to say, could you create a fire experience that was as exciting as the Halloween experience was for kids, but taught fire safety? So here's another QR code that you can try if you would like. So Smart Kids Fire Safety, our pilot was born, and we have 4 augmented reality experiences. The first one is a smoke alarm that touches his nose and he beeps, so he reminds you to check your smoke alarm batteries. We have Crawl, Glow, and Go, teaches kids how to crawl underneath smoke to get out if there's an emergency in their home. A safety globe, so there's 3 feet around anything hot kids shouldn't be around, and this gives kids a dimensional view of where they shouldn't be, around a grill, around a stove, around a bonfire. And this last one is for divergent, really young, or people who just like dogs. You can high-five a Dalmatian. And it's a cool way to get kids involved at the very beginning in a way that is safe and isn't fire-related per se, and once they do it, they usually want to participate in the others. Fire departments distributed on their printed materials, and we're going to be on our first trucks for National Night Out this year, so we're really excited about that. Thank you. The benefits are really simple. I mean, you guys know, augmented reality, web-based AR, it's just a scan, there's no tech. Firefighters do not love tech, and so the fact that a citizen uses their own phone, they don't need any technology whatsoever, real-time rich data, they don't have the ability to track how their educational elements are connecting. We saw users with 3 to 5 minute dwell times. They used all the experience more than once, and the fire departments can use that to get grants, to communicate with the community, and just show their value on top of all the firefighting pieces that they do. And you know the rest of these, AR, VR, it can be multilingual because it's visual, it's an experience, it gets shared, and it's scalable. So how are we scaling? We are expanding to wildfire, we are expanding to pool safety. This really cool one, the safe race, one thing families don't do is they don't plan a safe meeting spot, so often family members go back in looking for people. It's a race that they time you, each parent, each person getting to their safe spot. This Practice 911 is incredible. 75% of elementary school children cannot call 911. They don't know how to dial, they don't know their address, they don't know what's wrong with their parent. If they're multilingual, they may be interpreting for their parent. We are partnering with the actual dispatcher script in working with kids, and we're going to create an AI bot that is AR-based, that they can call 911 and actually interact and practice what the calls are. This is going to be, I think, one of my greater accomplishments in my career, so I'm super excited about this. I have this up here to just show you that one thing we do with all of Sugar is when we create content, we try to reuse it so we can pay for it once but monetize it twice. And so in this case, we're putting a home sprinkler experience into the kids experience, and the same sponsor/partner/nonprofit organization is creating one to show politicians and others, key stakeholders, how sprinklers actually reduce fire insurance and expenses, and this is really going to be a really cool thing. You guys know this, augmented reality makes learning easier, it makes retention better, it's more fun. Augmented reality works in education. VR works in education. It really is important. Sugar. Sugar is a platform. These are a variety of experiences that we've done. We have we use 8th Wall and Niantic as our partner for all the AR experiences, and then we have bolted onto it other elements. So we have a CRM, we have an AI-generated sales engine to help upgrade people from free to premium-based services, and it's really cool. We've got other things, but it's so exciting. This engagement platform, as we talked about, we have launched in training and education. And then we have programs and business plans in each of these key areas. So what we try to do is create assets once, and then we try to deploy them into different areas that are relevant to different kinds of businesses. And so we're really excited about what's coming and what we've already accomplished. Lastly, I guess I'm really fast, I apologize. There's a couple things. The new Halloween experience is going to be up on September 1st. And if you log on to HalloweenAR.com and use NYVR, you guys can get the free experience. So you'll be able to download, there'll be 20 characters this year. And all you do is you post the QR code or distribute the URL, and people can use it for free. If you have nonprofits, children-based nonprofits, fire departments in your area, this Halloween piece is going to be for free. What we are looking for and what I'm looking for in connecting here, and I'm so grateful for the time and the energy and being in a room of people who, when I say I do web-based AR, don't go home. It's been like amazing, so thank you. Thank you for everybody who, when I said what I did, said, can I try it? So thank you for that too. But we are going to be looking for creators who can help us create the augmented reality experience. We are going to be looking for influencers who want to use this, and we can put up codes and you can actually make money if other people buy the product from your partnership. And we are looking for any kind of connection to individual sponsors. And I got this incredibly brilliant idea from the New York Roadrunners, so if anyone knows them, I can't meet anyone, so if anyone has connection, I'm with them. So thank you. Sugar is 2 years old, and I have a team of 6 contract folks that are helping me in and out, and I'm just really proud of all the work that we've been doing and all that's going to be coming. So thank you. I really appreciate it.
Stay up here, actually. I want to invite all of our presenters back up for one more round of applause. And if you have any questions, put them in the system. We have a couple here to start with, and my guess is we'll get a couple more. Hold on a second. Okay, we'll start with Echo 3D. This is actually a question for me. I'm wondering about Gaussian splats. And is that in your pipeline? I know that they're a little bit more complicated to share.
Yeah, great question. So definitely it is. It's already in beta right now, and working with one big customer that just uses them by default at this point in kind of their entertainment section. They're creating Gaussian splats of scenes. Let's say they have some kind of some TV episode and they want to see out the location before, so they create a massive scan and they start out.
Awesome. All right. Michael, this question is from Chris. At your meetups, what is the breakdown of what people do and how are creators do, or how many creators are doing 360 videos?
I would say probably, well, I'll say the breakdown of the meetup is it's much more of a networking event. We maybe have one speaker that does about a 7-minute presentation, and the rest of it is just connecting with each other. I would say when it comes to VR, AR kind of experienced people, we maybe have about 33%. You know, right now we have then the other 33% being 3D, and then the other 33% usually 2D and motion graphics. So it's a very collective group.
All right, and what is your prediction for the future of XR motion and motion graphics?
Sure, well, both of them, there's two big questions. But yeah, when it comes to XR motion, I think we see ourselves getting really involved in the podcast, growing that out. We see, I think the digital art apparel, I know that's not a big thing, but I think having art, nerd hats and stuff and shirts is cool. We really want to grow that out. And then I think the conference is going to be our real big ticket item though. I think in the future, has anybody been to NAB or a CES? You know, CES, you walk around for 10 miles just to see one cool thing every quarter mile, right? So I think that's one thing we want to try and do is eventually get, as Andrew, partner in XR Motion says, kind of a carnival of digital art and future technology where you don't have to walk miles to see stuff, it's just only the cool stuff. That's where we see that growing. Right. Yeah. Future, AR, and VR, I think is going to be huge. So.
Awesome. Question for Larry. If you were filming using a 360 camera to record a show, what kind of mic would you want to use?
Microphone-wise, I think there's like a specialized microphone recording just for the 360 video. I forgot the name of it, but I can look it up for you later. But that just generates 4 channels. So you just import it into like editors, and then you can just add some different sound effects later on top of that. So it should make it more like immersive.
Well, the name of the mic?
Yeah, H3 Zoom. Like
I owned one of these 4 capsule mics at some point, but I don't have it. I forget what it is.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, and for another one for Larry, do you prefer the challenge of making audio for realistic, grounded experience like Price of Freedom, or the freedom of more abstract ones like Band?
I think they both have their own challenges. They're all very exciting for me. Like for the more grounded ones, I actually can play around with different type of like intuitive sound, but for the more interpreted one, I can have all the freedom, but at the same time, I have to make sure that other people will feel the same as well. So it's like different kind of like approaches of different type of like genre, but they are all very exciting for me.
For Saul and team, I think I know the answer to this one, but would you say Horizon is a good entry point for aspiring XR developers?
I would say, yeah, definitely, because it's very straightforward to use. It has a lot of AI tools to help you get started, and it's cross-platform, so you want to test it really quick on your phone, and there is a lot of resources available right now. So yeah, I would say so.
Cool.
I want to add one point. It's probably not so good for experienced XR developer because a lot of things you want to do, like animation, rigging, you just can't do in Horizon.
And also one more point, there's limitations of the max, what you can fit in, so.
Yeah.
Got it. One other question for Larry. I'm going to modify this a little bit. The question was, can you use programs like able to integrate audio for VR experiences? My thing, what programs would you recommend?
For the DAW, it doesn't really matter. You just like create sound with those DAW, and for me, I'll import it into middleware like Wise or FMOD, and then using that to create some events, and then connect it to gaming, just like Reels or Unity to make those interactions or like episodic space happen.
Awesome. All right, and Lisa, no questions in here for you. I do want to just applaud you on starting a project just for fun, and then finding amazing use cases for our tech. Sign up for Quick Rush competition next month. Sign up for collaboration groups, and enjoy the rest of this summer. Oh, and I think think there might be some crew going to Blackguard's Pub afterwards. I have to go home tonight, but if you guys are thirsty, Blackguard's, that's our usual landing spot after the event. With that, everyone, well, we'll be here demoing. Oh, and Anthony is demoing. Where's Anthony? I'm right here. Check out Anthony. Anthony didn't get the shout out before, but Anthony brought his game that's newly on the store. He needs some reviews. Check it out and